Welcome to A Beginner's Guide to Gerry Rafferty. If you enjoy this video, please remember to leave a like or a comment. And if you really liked it, why not subscribe? And don't forget the notification bell. Gerry Rafferty was a Scottish rock singer-songwriter, born in 1947. From an early age he was taught folk songs by his mother. Growing up he would be heavily influenced by the music of the Beatles and Bob Dylan. In 1969, he joined the group The Humble Bums, a group which included Billy Connolly, best known now as a comedian. The Humble Bums didn't enjoy any real success and disbanded in 1971. But Rafferty recorded a solo album that same year, and while it spawned no chart success, it did receive critical acclaim. The title track of the album, Can I Have My Money Back?, was a notable effort and generated some awareness and attention for Rafferty. The song Make You, Break You even managed to get some airplay. The mild success of his solo effort probably contributed to his decision to join his school friend Joe Egan and form the band Stealers Wheel. The band was beset by legal issues from the start. Rafferty also had a growing alienation with the music industry which persisted throughout the life of the band. Nevertheless, the two friends co-wrote the song Stuck in the Middle with You, which was released as a single in April of 1973. It became a huge international hit for the band, peaking at number 8 on the UK singles chart and number 6 on the Billboard Hot 100 in America. But by the time the debut album was released, Rafferty had already left the band. Given the success of the song and attention generated for the band, Rafferty was persuaded to return. The band became a duo with Egan, however, as the other original members had all left the band as well. The follow-up Stealers Wheel album in 1973, Fergusley Park, was a commercial failure. Two singles, Everything Will Turn Out Fine, co-written by Rafferty and Egan, and Star, written by Egan, did manage to get some airplay in the UK. A third album, Right or Wrong, was released in 1975, but by then the band had already broken up. Legal issues after the breakup of Stealers Wheel plagued Rafferty for some time and prevented him from releasing any material for 3 years. Finally, in January of 1978, Rafferty was able to release his second solo album, City to City. The single Baker Street was released in February of 1978, shortly after the album's debut. By May of that year the song had entrenched itself as the Billboard Hot 100 number 2 song, and it remained there for 6 straight weeks, consistently held out of the top spot by Andy Gibb. Nevertheless, the song reached number 1 in Australia, Canada and South Africa while peaking at number 3 in the UK. The song is considered one of the most memorable saxophone songs of the rock era. Ironically, Rafferty had a hard time trying to convince the record company to release the song as a single. In August of 1978, Right Down the Line was released as the next single in many countries. It proved most successful in Canada, where it reached number 5 on the top singles chart. In the US, it peaked on the Billboard Hot 100 at number 12. The success of the two singles spawned a third single release, Home and Dry. It did not fare as well, but did make the top 40 in both the US in early 1979, and in Canada. The combined strength of the songs pushed the album up the charts. It peaked as the number 1 album on Billboard in the US, in July of 1978, displacing the juggernaut Saturday Night Fever soundtrack, and was certified platinum there. In the UK the success was not as great, but the album still managed to peak at number 6, and was certified gold. Despite the lyrics of Baker Street hinting at his continued disenchantment with the recording industry and stardom, the public's interest in Rafferty was at its peak, and the album Night Owl was released in June of 1979. The title track peaked at number 5 in the UK, becoming his second such song to do so, and his last. In the US, Days Gone Down was the lead single instead, where it peaked at number 17. The follow-up single, Get It Right Next Time, made the UK Top 30, and also reached number 21 on the Billboard Hot 100 in the US. In Canada, it reached as high as number 9. These two albums would mark the peak of his popularity. Another Rafferty album, Snakes and Ladders, followed in April of 1980, and with it, 2 more singles were released. Bring It All Home peaked at number 54 in the UK only, while Royal Mile hit that same mark in the US, and as high as number 67 in the UK. By the time 1982's Sleepwalking was released, it was clear Rafferty had become quite jaded about the pressures of stardom. He did not enjoy performing live in support of his album. In 1983 he decided to take a break and devote time to his family. He became somewhat reclusive, although he did help produce some albums of other artists, including the Proclaimers. It wasn't until 1988 that he released another album, entitled North and South. But by that time he was more interested in doing production work and potentially contributing to movie soundtracks. During the 1990s, Rafferty released 2 albums, On a Wing and a Prayer in 1992 and Over My Head in 1994. Notably, the former album had him working again with his boyhood pal and contemporary from Stealers Wheel, Joe Egan. There was another gap until 2000 when Rafferty released Another World, and an even longer gap until 2009 when he released his 10th and final album, Life Goes On, an eclectic mix of songs. Sadly, Rafferty died in January of 2009, at the age of 64. On September 3, 2021, Parlophone UK released Rest in Blue, an album of blues, rock, and folk demos that Rafferty had recorded prior to his death. The album was completed by his daughter, Martha Rafferty. The collection had been planned as material for a new album before his death. Rafferty enjoyed a relatively brief time as one of the great recording acts of his era. Nevertheless, he left an enduring imprint on the musical landscape, and he will not be forgotten. That's it for this beginner's guide. Thanks for watching.